Shalom, friends. So very recently, someone actually, I guess, unfriended me and sent me a message because of this post right here, where I said I was basically sharing a post by Pasuk Post. I really like that page. I share a lot of good quotes on Judaism. And in this specific post, it says, the reward of the righteous woman. That was the title. And it said, the only way to truly guard the Torah is through the trait of humility. Now, I'm a very outspoken, very joyful person. So, the way I see humility is a little bit different from the way others see humility. I don't see humility as, you're quiet all the time and you don't care about yourself and stuff like that. That's not how I see humility. The way that Pasuk Post defined humility is the way that I see it. It's about sacrifice. It continues on in the post and it says that our sages compare Torah to water. Just as water by nature abandons the height in order to rest in a low place, so too the Torah can only reside within a person who lowers himself. What does it mean to lower himself? It means to sacrifice. It doesn't mean that you have to be quiet and you can't have an opinion and stuff like that. So, some people, they think that I'm a very religious person. I'm a Torah observant Jew, and sometimes people think that humility means you're quiet all the time, that you don't speak, you don't stand out. That's not really how I see humility. The way I see humility is that you lower yourself for others, and that doesn't mean you let them walk all over you. It's not about that. But I shared this post and I asked and I commented and I said, when women sacrifice jobs, education, position, power, etc., to take care and serve their families, train their children in the ways of the Almighty, take care of the sick and elderly who have no strength and ability, etc., they are accomplishing greater heights than the world could ever understand. What I'm saying is that, we women, when we do these things, when we, leave our careers or our jobs, etc., to take care of our children, to take care of our family, to serve them, the world doesn't really look up to that. The world looks down on us very often. And what I'm saying is that even though the world looks down on us, we are actually accomplishing great heights when we do this. Even though we may not be rewarded in an earthly way, there is a great and heavenly reward. Anyways, I don't understand why someone misunderstood that. I mean, maybe it's a controversial subject. I don't know. Maybe they completely understand maybe they completely understood where I was coming from. Anyway, she said, I saw your recent post about how it's good for women to sacrifice power, jobs, education, etc. to serve their families. Now, I didn't say it's good for them to do that. I'm not saying every woman has to do that, but sometimes we have to do that. Sometimes it's not a choice that we are making. There's no other options, except for, our loved ones suffering maybe, which, isn't an option. And in my opinion, if I can reduce anyone's suffering that I love, I would do that. Anyways, she said, I get where you are coming from, but it's a perspective that doesn't align with what I am doing as a woman-owned small business. I wish you all the best, and I hope we can continue to connect and learn from each other online. So she's saying basically that, she didn't want to do certain things with me anymore because of that post, and because it doesn't align with the fact that she is a woman and she owns a small business. It's very weird to me because I own a small business. I've been, an entrepreneur and had my own online business for years, ever since the birth of my first child. So I don't, sacrificing doesn't mean that you're losing, and every, sacrifice is necessary for every living thing to grow, right? So for example, a tree, in order to reproduce, it must sacrifice its fruit. It's just part of the natural process. And when it does that, it grows another tree. It's part of its network. It grows its species. It grows its tribe. And we're more powerful as a tribe. We're more powerful as a people than individuals. We are all one. We're all connected. So when we're sacrificing, quote unquote, for the greater good, we are not really losing. We're empowering. We're empowering our environment. We're empowering ourselves. And we're doing what's natural as human beings, as part of creation. A tree sacrifices its fruit. A mother gives way in her womb. You know, there's no shame in that. There's no shame in sacrificing. There's no shame in being a woman. And there's no shame in pursuing a career or owning a small business. And there's also no shame in taking care of your family and making sacrifices sometimes. I sacrificed my career at NASA in order to be a stay-at-home mom. And I started from scratch as an entrepreneur, you know, making a good income to making nothing for 3 years until my business finally started picking up. And then I reached a very good income, which surpassed my income at NASA. So just because you sacrificed for a time, that doesn't mean you're going to be miserable forever. No. It's like making an investment, you know. You give up some money for a time to buy a house or to buy a business or, you know, something like that. But then what do you get in return? What is your yield for that sacrifice? For a good sacrifice, your yield is great. Your yield is awesome. When we sacrifice for the people we love, our children, our family, we're not losing. Don't think of it that way. That's the wrong mindset. When we sacrifice for people that we love, we are blessed with both earthly and heavenly riches in the end, if we're doing it the right way. I truly believe that. Now, it might not happen right away. It might take time, just like a seed. When you plant it, you don't get fruit the next day. It needs to grow. It needs to sprout. It needs to grow leaves and fruit and flowers and etc. But it will happen. It will come. So always remember that. Following God, being religious, sacrificing does not mean that you're going to lose out on things in life. It means you are going to be rich in ways that other people who only look at worldly things could never understand. That's what I mean by that.